The San Diego housing market is heating up, with new listings more than doubling between December and January. Today, we're checking out the latest trends and what they mean for you. Is it a buyer's market, a seller's market, or something in between? Hit the subscribe button and stay tuned to find out.
All right, let's start by checking out the monthly chart and then looking at the long-term trends. Okay, looking at the month-over-month overview from December to January, there was a 113.5% increase in new listings.
That's a pretty big number.
Well, it went from almost nothing to something. Okay. So that's a pretty,
some improvement.
Pretty decent improvement, yes. Pending sales were up 37%. Closed sales up 3.7%. Days on market did increase 16.1%, and median price went up 0.2% overall. We'll get into that later.
All right, well, let's check out some long-term charts.
Yes. So this is a new listings chart, and here we have the last 3 years, and this chart down below goes back 10 years. Obviously can't see all the 10 years. If you're interested in 10 years ago,
give us a call. We'll send it to you.
We'll send it to you. So, back in January of 2022, there were 1,875 new listings, and it went down to 1,425 last January, and basically even this January. Any way you slice it, these last 3 years, very low in terms of new listings, and then attached or detached properties year to date, very, very similar shape, and attached very, very similar. And as we always point out on every one of these videos, the real estate market was humming along very regularly until the middle of 2020 or early in 2020, and then things just don't look the same as they did historically. So yeah, new listings are just way, way down, and that is one of the reasons why we continue to basically be in a seller's market. I mean, there's no
supply and demand.
Supply and demand. And, closed sales, same thing. Much higher in 22 and then 23 in 21, 22, 23. Between 21 and 22, it got cut really significantly, almost 40%. And then 2023 was very similar to 22. So at least for the last 2 years, we've had a trend, call it, in closed sales, and they're way down again because there have not been as many listings. So then if we look at median price, it keeps going up. And why does median price keep going up when all these numbers are going down?
Supply and demand.
That's right. That's because there are more buyers than there are sellers. There are more people in San Diego who are qualified to purchase homes and actively trying to purchase homes than there are people selling homes, and so that creates upward pressure on pricing. And we did have a little bit of softening in prices in the fourth quarter, but that really firmed up in December and continues to appear to be the trend here in 2024 so far. And you can see here on the long chart that from December to January, we had a median price increase. This was nearly 4%. And the only other time on this chart that you're going to see that is at the beginning of 2022. From 21 to 22, there was a median price increase from December to January. And what happened in 2022? Prices shot up almost 14% in 90 days. That was a 90-day period where prices went up nearly 14%, and then interest rates came crashing in or up or rolling up or whatever you want to call it. And then that early 22 increase was erased, but then it has clawed its way back and continues to claw its way back. So with supply and demand where they are, I see this as probably going to continue at least through the first quarter.
Bullish for sellers?
I'm bullish on sellers for sure. And I'm sorry, that's not great news for buyers. You're going to just have to continue to compete, and that's why you need a great agent to work with you and help you. It's really challenging out there for buyers, and you really need somebody who knows what they're doing when it comes to getting your offer accepted.
That's right. And also it would help if rates would settle down a little bit more. And are we ready to look at rates?
Yeah, let's look at that.
So these are the latest numbers from Freddie Mac, and looking at them today, I was a little bit surprised that they weren't worse, given some of the good jobs news that came out last week. The word on the street was that rates were going up. Well, they went up 0.01%. So still pretty similar to last week.
Yeah, similar to last week and similar to the last several weeks. It's been fairly steady, which is actually good. It's sort of providing at least a somewhat solid feeling in terms of, there's rates aren't running away from us. It would be nice if they would go down more. A lot of people were talking about, they're going to go down in March. They're going to go down in April.
They were supposed to go down in the last quarter of 2023, and
yeah,
that didn't really happen either.
Inflation is down, but the jobs growth is really strong, and so the Fed, nobody really knows what they're going to do, when they're going to pivot and start to cut. And when that happens, rates should go down even more. And a lot of industry experts say that it's going to take rates getting into the mid fives before those sellers who are hanging on to 3 and 4% rates start to come into the market. Although I don't really see that as being a real, it's going to help, but a lot of those sellers are also going to be buyers. Mm-hmm. So, because contrary to popular belief, a lot of these sellers are staying in California. Some leave, but most stay.
I know plenty of folks who are moving to California too.
Yeah, it's not there's the mass exodus thing is somewhat overblown. I mean, people do leave, but not in phenomenal numbers. And again, sellers become buyers. So more inventory is good, but also creates more competition among buyers.
Well, I'm staying here. I'm not going anywhere.
Any way you slice it, it's a challenging real estate environment for buyers. I mean, it's effectively been a seller's market for more than 10 years now. I mean, there have been periods when it was starting to turn, but we have had a very long-term seller's market, and at some points even a hyper seller's market.
Well, we'll be around to tell you what happens next.
Yes.
And I think, is that it for today?
That's it for today. If you've got any questions about any of this, leave us a comment, send us a message, give us a call. We'd love to talk to you about buying or selling or anything real estate related.
Or anything else too.
Yeah, just want to hang
talk
out.
About the weather,
Yeah.
sports, whatever.
Right on.
All right, well, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.